Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Cassie if you're new, and if you're not, welcome back to another video. I'm switching it up today, you guys. I'm doing a Q&A and I am so excited. I honestly have not done a Q&A on my channel in forever is what it feels like. I just feel like I have some new subscribers on here and I thought it'd be a good way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better and also ask me some questions that maybe I don't cover in my other vlogs that I always post. If you are new to my channel, I do a lot of videos on my channel of health and wellness and fitness and lifestyle, recipes, nutrition, all of the things. I'm like super passionate about health and wellness and fitness. And I'm just pumped to do this Q&A today. So I put a little question box on my Instagram of questions you guys wanted me to answer in this Q&A video. So I have them all here on my phone and I'm just gonna kind of get right into the first one. Somebody said, how and when did you start your fitness journey? I would say my fitness journey probably started 5 to 6 years ago. I danced all my life growing up. So I could say I've always been kind of in like the fitness journey and I've always been really active. I danced for, I wanna say like 16 or 17 years and I loved it so much, and I did competitive dancing, and so I would say that's kind of where like my love for being active started. And then when I quit dance after high school because I wasn't going to pursue it in college, I decided that I wanted to stay active somehow, and I started going to the gym, I started going to spinning, I would do cycling classes, and I just found my love for movement and being active and exercising just kind of translated into like my fitness journey. But I would say I really didn't get serious with it until probably like 2016. Oh my god, that is like so crazy to say because it's 2021, but basically 2022 in like a week. So actually I would say probably my fitness journey started around 8 years ago, which is like so crazy, but honestly that's why they call it a journey, because it is a journey. It goes up and it goes down. In terms of like how I started my fitness journey is I just started off really slow. Like I would go to the gym and I would just do certain things that I would see on like YouTube or like other people doing. It took me a really long time to figure out the movements and the workouts and the exercises that I truly loved and like worked for my body. When it comes to fitness, I feel like everything is trial and error and everybody is so different. So you could see somebody doing like hours and hours of cardio, and if you do that and you don't love it, it's just because that doesn't work for you. Or same thing goes with like strength training or cycling or swimming or like any type of workout you do. You kind of have to see what works best for you and your body. And I know that's kind of hard because on social media these days, I feel like we're inundated with so much fitness content of like, do this, do that, don't do that, don't do that. But I personally have found I love strength training and I still love cardio, but I find the best results of my personal body when I strength train and do cardio like once or twice a week. I remember I used to do hours and hours of cardio because I thought that was the way I was gonna reach my fitness goals and reach like a certain physique, and that's like what everybody was doing to be skinny and thin. Like that was like in years ago. And now I'm just focusing more on being strong and feeling confident and feeling really good in my body, and strength training is that for me. But I do have to be cautious with it because I was diagnosed with scoliosis back in October, so my super lifting heavy days are over because obviously with my back and my spine, like I just have to modify certain things. In general though, fitness is a journey for a reason, and it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, it has ebbs and flows, but I think the biggest thing is trial and error. Figure out what you love and what you genuinely enjoy. Like I wake up every day and I'm excited to train. I might not want to say every day. There's some days where I'm like not the most motivated, but it's the discipline that keeps me going. By the way, if you hear something snoring, my dog is sitting on my lap sleeping and he's snoring. So it's not me snoring, it's my puppy on my lap. But generally I found out the workouts that I really enjoy, the ones that make me feel my best. And so yeah, I'm really grateful for that. But it has been a really long journey. Like I said, I started my fitness journey probably 8 years ago now that I have counted the years, which is crazy. And I feel like I'm always still changing, I'm always still switching things up to see what I like and things that are working with me and my body and my current goals. So that's just something I would like highly recommend, is see what works for you and don't just do what works for your friend or an influencer you follow on Instagram, because you are your own person. Your body's gonna thrive off of different exercises. Okay, next question. What's your biggest tip to help you stay consistent on days when you're feeling really down? Kind of goes with the question that I was just talking about before this, but I would say my biggest tip is do something that inspires you. So for example, if there's days where I feel really down and I'm just like not motivated, I'm just kind of having a flat day, I will listen to a podcast. I will listen to like a quick 10 to 15 minute motivational speech on YouTube, something I've really been doing. I love listening to like Ed Milet or Andy Frisella, Gary Vee. Those are like my 3 favorites. Oh, Tony Robbins is really good too. But you have to do something that inspires you. And that might just be like going on a walk and getting fresh air, listening to a podcast, talking to one of your friends who makes you feel good and makes you laugh and smile. Getting inspired is like the biggest thing for me personally. And there are some days where if you're really unmotivated and you're really not feeling it, like I personally just kind of let my body go through the motions. So maybe it's not like getting up and going in a really intense workout, but you could still go on a walk or do like yoga or stretch or something that kind of moves your body to get you to feel active. But recently my biggest motivational accelerator, I guess I would say, is listening to Ed Milet on YouTube and just listening to motivational speakers who really help me get in like a good mindset and a good routine and just kind of like getting outside of my house. If I've just been sitting here all day and I've been on my computer, like going on a walk, or even eating something that makes you feel good, or drinking a coffee, little things that make you feel good, lighting a candle, those are all things that I find help me to be a little bit more productive and inspired and motivated. Oh, also reading a book. If you're not into podcasts, highly recommend to just grab a book that you really like, and that can help like inspire you too. Someone asked, have you ever considered turning your passion into a career? 110%. Honestly, you guys, that is why I stay so consistent on YouTube and Instagram and just really putting out valuable content that I hope is actually helping you in your everyday life and motivating you and inspiring you and just like meeting new people. I hope to make this a career for me one day. I am so passionate about health and wellness and just fitness and feeling your best and healthy recipes and nutrition. There's nothing more that like makes me light up more than that. And so yeah, I hope one day this could turn into a career for me, but I will say I'm not in this because I'm like, oh, I want to make a lot of money and oh, I want this to be my career. Like, of course those are goals of mine, but I literally did YouTube for a whole year and made not 1 cent from it. And still, like, I have a full-time 9-to-5 job. That is my primary income. And I am grateful that I am monetized on YouTube now, but it's not about that for me. It really is about like inspiring and helping others. And also it's a creative outlet for me. Like, I genuinely love creating content. I love filming. I love doing recipes. I love fitness, and I love creating content as a whole. So it is something that like I wake up in the morning and I cannot wait to do. It like lights a fire in my soul. And I'm grateful to have found that niche. But yeah, hopefully one day I can make this into a career. I would love to come out with like some sort of like a fitness guide or something with like a recipes or like, oh, my own activewear. That would be like a dream. We'll see. How do you properly manage a job, working out, a side hustle, while still making time for self-care? Great question. Self-care is so important, and that's something I'm trying to incorporate a little bit more in 2022, because I honestly feel like if your cup is not full and you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of somebody else and be the best version of yourself for other people? My biggest tip for this is, what are you doing in the morning? What does your morning routine look like? I feel like I have so many things throughout the day that I'm constantly juggling. I work full-time as a social media manager. I do YouTube basically full-time. I upload twice a week. I try, so I do that on nights and the weekends. I also have like a side job where I work for a company called Monet, hair and skincare and wellness products. And I'm a content creator. I create content on Instagram. I do tons of reels all the time. So I feel like I'm constantly juggling a lot, but I do think that time blocking has been a huge thing that's helped me during the day. My morning is my me time. It's where I can get up in the morning and not have to focus on any of those things I just mentioned besides my morning routine, my practices, and my workouts. So I highly recommend to kind of figure out what that looks like for you. It might be an evening routine, it might be during the day, but I notice if I get up and I do my daily gratitude, I drink my lemon water, I do my stretches, I go to the gym, and I don't really have to start work until 9 or 8:30. If I get up at 6, I have a solid like hour or 2 hours to myself where I can focus on that. And that just helps me like get into a really good mindset. It is a form of self-care for me, honestly. And it just helps me feel like I have some time to myself before I have to answer others and start my day and create content and start working and doing all these things. And then also time blocking. So for example, if you know that you have to work from 9 to 5, then during the day you have to work, but you know, maybe at 5, you're gonna unwind, you're gonna make dinner, you're gonna just kind of hang out, but then maybe from like 6 to 7, if you have a side project you're working on, you're gonna put aside that time to edit a video or record a podcast or whatever it is that you do. That's how I manage things. And I also don't wanna preach like hustle culture, because I think self-care and listening to your body and finding balance is really important, because burnout is not fun. I've been there and it's horrible and it does not lead to productivity. So I don't want to preach like burnout or hustle culture at all. But I do think that if you have something that you want to make full-time one day, or you have something you're passionate about, like, it does kind of come with sacrifice. I do a lot of stuff at night. I do a lot of stuff on the weekends. I get up extra early because I have goals of mine that I want to fulfill, but I also need to work my job. I have a dog I have to take care of. I have an apartment with my boyfriend that I have to upkeep. So I think it kind of comes with sacrifice too. And it's just finding that balance. Like, I don't sit in my house all day and work and edit and like be a hermit and don't hang out with people, but I do have goals, and I make sure that I prioritize my goals and the things that I'm focusing on to make sure I'm still reaching those things that I want to achieve. But self-care is important. I mean, I try to say to myself, okay, like, Cassie, after like 7:30 or 8 o'clock, like, you are not working. You're not on your phone, you're not creating reels, you're not doing YouTube videos. By then I'm not really working. My boyfriend's home at that time, and we make dinner together, we watch TV, we hang out with our dog, like, we spend time together. And that's like a form of self-care for me, because I'm just focusing on him and us, and we're not doing any type of work. So I have cutoffs for myself, but I think time management and time batching is so important. Like, I create to-do lists for myself every single day, like down to the nitty-gritty of like what time I'm working out, what time am I doing my scoliosis exercises, what time am I finished work so I can start editing my YouTube videos at night, what am I making for dinner that week. And I know that might kind of sound crazy, but to manage a lot, if you have a lot on your plate, time batching, time management, and to-do lists are literally a game changer for me. And also in terms of self-care, like, I try to set up a day for myself where I'm not like super busy on social media, and I'm not like so immersed in my phone or like working. Generally I try to do that on Saturdays. I try to just like be with whoever I'm with, and I don't edit, I don't do anything on Saturdays. Like, I might make a reel or something, but I don't really work. So it's important to kind of have those days where you set aside time for yourself and your loved ones and self-care, but it can be a lot. I would highly recommend your morning routine, getting up a little bit earlier, making time for yourself in the morning, to-do list, time batching. Those are all things that have really helped me like stay motivated and productive, but also get done what I need to get done in a day. And honestly, if you don't get everything done, it's okay. There's tomorrow, there's the weekend. You don't want to be too hard on yourself where you're waking up super early and also going to bed super late. I wake up early, but I also go to bed at like 9 o'clock, like 9:30. Some people call me a grandma, but it's important to sleep too. So it's all about like balance. What is your favorite supplement? That's a good one. Honestly, guys, I don't really take a ton of supplements. I'm not the type of person that wakes up and takes like 15 probiotics and certain pills and vitamins. I probably should be better about that, but I just don't. I feel good kind of with like my diet and my exercise. So I don't really take like nutritional supplements, but I do, however, love my protein powder. I do need to talk about that. That's probably my favorite supplement that I take. So as I mentioned before, I'm partnered with a company called Monet, and we have like wellness products, hair care, skincare, but we launched a protein, I wanna say, when was it? Like in September. And I just love it. It's my favorite. Personally, I love protein because it's a really good way to get like in a lot of protein after your workout if you just want to like do a quick shake. But this one specifically, it's like a vegan vanilla one. It has 20 grams of protein per scoop. It has low sugar, it has low carbs. Actually, I think it has no sugar. It's not too sweet. I've tried protein powders in the past that are super sweet, and I just am not a fan. Like, I like a subtle sweet, but this one's like the perfect amount of like subtle sweet vanilla. I'm not trying to like plug myself, but honestly, this is my favorite protein powder, and it's what I use like every single day. It's so good. You guys know how much I love my shakes. If you watch my YouTube videos, I feel like I make protein shakes all the time. In the summer, I make them a little bit more, but yeah, it's my favorite. I love it. I'll put a picture up here if you guys are interested in it. Let me know. but it's my favorite. I enjoy seeing your recipes and what you eat in a day, but wondered if you ever feel hungry. I don't. I do not deprive myself at all. It's actually so funny because my sister, one time I stayed with her and her boyfriend. Actually, when we had COVID, we all quarantined together. And she like could not believe how much I eat. She's like, you are like always eating. Like, how are you always hungry? And I feel like it's because I'm really, really active. So no, I don't feel hungry. And if I do feel hungry, I eat. And I don't really like practice like intermittent fasting. I don't like stop eating after a certain time. I mean, I try to stop eating probably like after like 8:30 if I'm gonna go to bed at like 9:30. If I'm hungry, I eat. I honestly just listen to my body. I practice intuitive eating, which is like you just listen to your body and your cues. When you're hungry, you eat. When you're not hungry, you don't eat. And when you're full, you stop. That's kind of like what works for me and my body. I don't count macros. I honestly just try to like listen to my own personal cues. There are days where I'm like way hungrier than others. Usually on a day where I'm like training legs or something, I've had like a really intense workout. And then there are days where I'm not like as hungry and I just try to like listen to my body, get in enough protein, greens, all of that. When you first started out, what helped you stay motivated and consistent? Kind of goes with the other ones I've mentioned. I think a lot of people have a misconception with motivation. Motivation comes and it goes, guys. Like, you might watch my videos and you're like, wow, this girl's so motivated. But honestly, there are days where I'm not motivated, but it's the discipline behind the motivation that keeps me going. So I would say being disciplined really helped me, because after I work out or after I eat a healthy meal or after I've just had like a really productive, like healthy day, I feel good. And honestly, I feel like I show up the best when I feel good. I honestly remember that feeling and how it feels. And so I think that's what kind of keeps me going, but it's the discipline behind it too. Also, like I've mentioned before, I have like a lot of goals for myself. So the discipline behind the motivation, because I have goals and because I have things I want to achieve, helps me. I try to stay super consistent with YouTube and content creation because, as you guys know, like this industry I'm in is saturated. I mean, I think that there is a place for everyone on the internet to share what you're passionate about, but there are a lot of people doing it. So consistency is a big thing you have to do when you're creating content, or even when you're working out or you're eating healthy. Like, you have to be consistent. Try to find a balance that works for you, something that's sustainable that you can do forever. Like, for example, if you are running miles every single day and you don't really like running, I wouldn't advise that because it's not sustainable. But find a workout that you like, and then over time, because of that, you can stay consistent. Not every day you're gonna be motivated. Not every day you're gonna feel like $100, and that's okay. There are some days where you just kind of have to like listen to your body and get inspired, listen to a podcast, read a book, and you'll feel better the next day. Another one, how do you stay motivated to keep up with your healthy habits? I feel like I kind of just mentioned that one, so I'm gonna pass. What is your fave toy for your doggy? Oh my god, it's so funny. So if you guys watched my video, I think it was the last one, somebody on my channel recommended, I'm trying to see if I can find it, this toy called, the brand is called Go Dog. And when I first got it in the mail, I loved it because he couldn't destroy it, but then recently he has kind of destroyed it. So I would say my favorite toy brand, he really likes his Kong. That's probably my favorite. I always fill it with like peanut butter and treats, and it keeps him busy for a while. So I have like a medium-sized Kong that he loves. And then also the brand called No Hide. Those are really like healthy treats for dogs, healthy bones. And they're alternative to rawhide, which is like not that good for dogs. So he really likes those, and they keep him preoccupied for a while too, which I love because he's still a puppy. He's not really a puppy yet. I don't know, he's a year and a half, so he's still kind of a puppy, and he has a lot of energy. Right now he's sleeping, but sometimes he has like tons of energy and I'm working, and so I just kind of like give him the Kong or something to preoccupy him. Have you and Matthew ever wanted to live anywhere else besides Buffalo, New York? Matthew is my boyfriend, if you are new, and we've been together 7 years. In January it'll be 7 years. Have we ever wanted to live elsewhere? We've definitely thought about it. I went to Austin recently and I was like, wow, this would be like the coolest place to live ever. And you know, when we're in Florida, we're like, oh, it's so nice here. Like, weather's so nice. But to be honest, I don't think I could ever leave my family. My family's here and his family's here, and we are so close with my family. I have 2 sisters I'm pretty close with, and my 2 parents live here. Matthew has 2 brothers he's very close with, and his 2 parents. So we are honestly like just way too close with our families to move. I kind of always think though, like, it'd be cool to live somewhere before we settle down and get married and have kids, because why not? But then again, I I don't think I could leave my family. I did go away to college. I went to the University of Alabama for a year, and then I transferred home because I missed my family too much. But I do feel like I got a year away where I was on my own at a pretty young age, and I was like 16 hours away. So that was like a really big jump, and I just missed my family too much. So it is something we think about. Is it realistically ever gonna happen? Probably not. I feel like I'm just too much of a homebody, but I don't know. Never say never. When did you start working out regularly? Have you always been athletic? There's a lot of fitness questions, so sorry if these are a little repetitive, but I started working out regularly about 8 years ago. I train probably 5 times a week, 5 to 6. And then have I always been athletic? Because I danced, I think that was always like a gene I had in me, like just being athletic and wanting to move around and like being active. What are your professional and personal goals looking out into the next 3 to 5 years? Oh my God, I love this question. I am so passionate about YouTube and fitness and health, and I hope in the next 5 years I can be like working for myself, doing something really cool in this space, like having my own ebook or my own fitness guide or something with like health and nutrition. That is like my ultimate goal one day, or even having like my own like activewear brand. I hope one day I can create something that really helps inspire and motivate and cultivate a community in health and wellness where people feel comfortable to feel like they're a part of something and to become the best version of themselves. Currently in like the professional space, I'm a social media manager for the brand Ithaca Hummus, and I love my job so much. I love it too because I feel like it's very in line with like what I do on the side, and it's very in line with who I am. I love who I work with. I love the brand I work with. Like, I feel really lucky to have found this position because I just feel so at home with it. So I hope to kind of like continue to climb in that company and progress and learn more. Please share your sun, moon, and rising sign with us. Okay, this is a question for my sister. I have no idea. I'm a Scorpio though. My birthday's in November. I'm a Scorpio. If you met my sister, she would say like I am 110% a Scorpio. All the traits that a Scorpio embodies, I feel like is literally me. I'm not sure about the others though. I was born around like 4:15 p.m. I believe. A Scorpio all the way. Do you budget your money at all in a certain way? In terms of budgeting, I always want to make sure I'm not spending more than what's coming in, and saving is like very important for me. I would say I'm definitely a saver rather than a spender, and I'm like a minimalist. So if I buy something, I have to sell something. If I get like a present or like a new shirt, I have to get something out of my closet because clutter and like too much stuff bothers me. I try to budget in a way where I have my expenses a month that I need to obviously pay for and like things I'm responsible for, and then also I have some money on the side that if I want to spend or like go out to dinner, stuff like that. I also make sure I have a certain amount like in my bank account and in my savings. So yeah, I'd say I budget, but I've always been really big on like having multiple sources of income, and that's really helped me to just like live a life that I want to live and not feel super strapped. But I'm really big into saving. I love using Poshmark. I sell so much on there. I'd highly recommend that. And I think budgeting like personally for me has really helped me throughout the years. What are your career goals? I kind of already mentioned that. I'm not gonna do that one. Favorite sweet treat? Oh my God, right now my favorite sweet treat are the Simple Mills almond flour chocolate chip cookies. Guys, I'm obsessed with these cookies. They are so good. I've made them in the last like 3 vlogs, I wanna say, and I'm literally obsessed with them. But they also have some at the grocery store that you can buy that are already pre-made, and you guys, they taste like the Chips Ahoy chewy cookies, but they're healthy. Good ingredients, I love them. Simple Mills almond flour chocolate chip cookies, you won't be disappointed. They're healthy cookies and they're so good. I love them. They're my favorite sweet treat right now, and at night, like that's my dessert these days. Usually I have popcorn, but recently I've been transitioning into a cookie or 2, and they're so good. Where did you go to school and what did you study? I went to 2 different universities. So I started off at the University of Alabama. I actually went for pre-law. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. So I went there. I feel like I just took a lot of like prereqs there, like things that you take when you're a freshman. And then I loved it. Such a cool experience. I was in a sorority. Like I went to the national championship. I did the whole 9. It was so fun. But I ended up transferring home to the University at Buffalo, and there I studied business administration and marketing. So that's what my degree is in. I did 3 years there, 1 year at Alabama. I did a ton of internships after college. I literally like thought I wanted to do accounting. I did accounting for like 5 seconds. I did law for a little bit, but then I realized I just loved business and I loved marketing. And I thought that business was like a really good degree for me to have, because then when I got out of college, it was versatile and I could do a lot with it. Whereas if I went to school for like law or accounting, it was kind of like you had to do one of those things. And I just really liked business. I thought that that degree would help me and be applicable in like my everyday life after school. So I'm actually really happy with what I did, obviously, because now I'm in social media, I'm in marketing, I'm in content creation. And I was in college, like I never knew I would kind of be in this industry. So I'm really happy I just like decided on business. What's your favorite go-to recipe and favorite lesser evil snack? If you guys watch my videos, you know Lesser Evil is my favorite snack brand, literally ever. My favorite Lesser Evil snack, I'd have to say, is their popcorn. I am kind of obsessed with popcorn. If you ask anyone in my family, they'd say it's an unhealthy addiction, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I love it. So their popcorn is my favorite. The Himalayan pink salt is so good. The no cheese cheesy made with nutritional yeast is so good. Their Christmas flavors are so good. Oh my God, I love them. So I love Lesser Evil's popcorn, and their paleo puffs and their power curls are amazing. Check those out. What's your favorite go-to recipe? I feel like that changes depending on the time of year, but I'd probably say my Asian lettuce wraps. That's a recipe that I have been making for years and I love it. I just feel like I'm always in the mood for it. It's so good and just like so fresh. I just love it. So it's probably my go-to, but I kind of fluctuate throughout the year. Right now I'm really into this like high protein pasta bake I make, and sometimes I just want like chicken and like Nourish bowls. I would say Nourish bowl is probably my other go-to recipe that I make all the time. I love food, if you guys couldn't tell. What did you want to be when you were little? Oh my gosh, such a great question. When I was little, I wanted to be a dance teacher. So I danced for so many years, as I've already mentioned, and I always admired my dance teachers. I loved them. And all my friends and I that I danced with, we always like wanted to be dance teachers growing up. So that's what I aspired to be. Obviously that did not happen. I would say when I was little, I wanted to do that. But then as I got older, I like realized I liked marketing and more of like the creative space, but I always thought like I'd be a dance teacher. How did you and your partner meet? A little backstory, please. So actually Matthew and I did a Q&A, a couples Q&A last year around this time. I'm gonna link it here if you guys wanna watch it after this. It's so good. But Matthew and I met at the gym, so fitting. We still go to the gym together, not that one, but we met at LA Fitness in 2015. It's gonna be 7 years in January, which is wild. And you know when you're like at the gym with someone and you're kind of just like thinking they're cute and you're like looking at each other, but you're like too shy to go over and say hello. So we had been doing that for a few weeks, and finally there was one time where I walked to the water fountain and he followed me. And to this day, he will disagree and say he didn't follow me. He wasn't following me. Go watch that Q&A, the whole video is there. He did follow me. And so I honestly was so outspoken. I just like turned around and I was like, are you following me? Like so sassy. And he was like, oh no, like I'm just trying to fill up my water bottle, but like his water bottle was full. That's how we met, LA Fitness in Buffalo and Clarence. Such a great story, and we ended up going to that gym for years and years after, and then we ended up switching to a different one called Jada Blitz, but we met there and it's been history ever since. Oh, and little fun fact, a lot of people I feel like don't know this, but Matthew's 8 years older than me, and when we met I was younger, so it was kind of a struggle for my parents to come to terms with it, but once they met him, they were like, oh my God, we love him. Like he's like the nicest person ever. He's so sweet. He has the biggest heart, and I feel like when you meet him, you just like can't not love him. Now I'm 24 and he's 32, so the age difference isn't like a big deal now. Back then it was, I had to convince my parents, but they love him now. They like treat him as his own. And then the last question is, what type of content do you usually consume on YouTube? Any favorite YouTubers or digital creators? I think who you consume is so important. A lot of people that I look up to say who you consume really affects your everyday mood, it affects your productivity, and people always say you are the 5 people you hang out with. So I have like really stripped down on who I consume. Even though I'm in like the digital space and I am a content creator, I do not consume a lot of YouTube. I do have a few people that I love to watch that inspire me, provide value, and make me feel more productive. And this is just kind of a tip. If you follow somebody and they don't make you feel your best and they're not bringing value to you, it's okay to unfollow. There's been times where I'll follow certain people and I try to recognize like how I feel after I consume their content. And if I feel happy and inspired and uplifted, and positive, I continue to follow. But if somebody's content isn't bringing me value or it's making me feel like down on myself and not productive, I honestly just choose not to follow them. And I hope that doesn't sound like insensitive, but you're on your phone so much, right? We're on our phones so much. You're consuming so much content all the time, and it really does affect you. So personally, who I follow, my favorite creator is Sarah's Day. And I have watched her for years. I literally started watching her years ago. I think she's been on YouTube for like 8 years, but she has brought so much value into my life in terms of health and fitness and nutrition. And I really, really look up to her. She has so many companies these days. Like, she's just killing it in the health and wellness space. So she's my favorite digital creator. I always watch her. I really like Maggie McDonald and Rachel Radke. Those two, I like their very like lifestyle content. I love like their fashion and like health tips. And I honestly feel like when I'm watching their videos, it's just kind of like I'm talking to a friend. So I love that. Sammy Clark is another person that I absolutely love. She is somebody in the health and the fitness space that is just so authentically herself and so honest. And I always feel inspired after watching her videos and watching like her recipes and her vlogs and her day in the lives. I love her. Whitney Simmons is another person I love to follow. I think she is so authentic and so true to herself. I love her fitness content, and I really love how she's just so honest and vulnerable, and she speaks her mind. I look up to her a lot. She's done like collabs with Gymshark, and God, she has like her own app and her own activewear. I love her. So I follow her. But besides that, I would say those are the people on YouTube that I like consistently watch. But yeah, those are people that have really like brought me value and inspired me. That's all the questions. This was so fun. I feel like I'm just like chatting with you guys, even though I'm like chatting to a camera at my house alone. So if you guys like this video, please let me know. Leave a comment down below if you like Q&As and you want me to do more of them. I really enjoyed it. I'm always doing vlogs, so I'm like on the go. I'm actually filming a vlog today because I have the whole week off actually. So I figured it'd be perfect to do like some videos. But I really enjoyed this Q&A, and I hope you guys found value. I hope my answers like were helpful in a way that will help you. Again, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate your support so much. In February, it'll be 2 years of me being on YouTube, which is literally crazy. I feel like I just started yesterday, but I just want to say like I'm so grateful and appreciative of the support of my subscribers. And so many of you guys messaged me, and I feel like I just talked to you like you're my friend, because like you guys are my friends. And I just feel like YouTube is such a cool space. I love Instagram so much, but YouTube, there's just something like it. And I love it, and I'm just like excited to see kind of where this platform takes me and the new people I meet, and I just love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I upload every single Friday, and in December I've been uploading twice a week. I'm still deciding if I'm going to be continuing that in January and February. We'll see, but I've been really enjoying it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!